Last 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, masters. Whenever you are ready, please open your hands and place on your eyes. Yeah. Thank you all, masters, for this beautiful meditation. So, welcome all of you, my dear friends, my dear masters, my dear gods. Thank you all. Thanks to our Guru, Brahma Shri Pitama Patraji. Thanks to our Guru, Master Tarkam Saraidarya. And thanks to all the masters, whoever is helping us with all the wisdom. And thanks to all of you for joining all these sessions. Thank you all. So masters, let me share my screen. Okay, masters. So let us learn more about karma today. So we are discussing about consciousness and karma. So we learned that consciousness is everything that exists, right? So it exists at all levels, in all dimensions. So respectively, it will take different ways. Okay, so like in our lower earth plane and etheric world and mental world, it will be having a dual nature. So with that dual nature only, we're able to distinguish things and understand things and experience them. So as we keep evolving to the higher levels, higher dimensions, so this dual nature will not be there. We'll be moving towards more and more oneness nature. Okay. So this consciousness keeps changing in this physical world. Whenever we encounter any troubles, any challenges, any crisis situations in our lives, because we are in this lower level world, right? So our consciousness also will get affected. But when we are aware, so that is the beauty of awareness. Awareness will not get affected. Consciousness will get affected, but awareness will not get affected. Master is telling, awareness stays the same even if the three lower bodies go through many changes. So that's why it is very important for all of us to be aware all the time. So when we are aware, then we'll be able to go through each and every phase, be it a challenging one or be it a easiest one. So we'll pay attention and we'll witness it. We'll practice the witnessing. And it is in the awareness field that all memories will be there. So when we raise our awareness, then only we'll be able to recollect our past. We'll be able to remember, recollect things. And yeah, beyond this intuitional plane, man comes into contact with the universe, not through awareness, but through beingness or identification. Okay, so in this lower level planes only, we'll be able to recognize consciousness through awareness. But once we cross to certain level, in certain intuitional plane, Master is telling that we'll be experiencing the oneness, beingness. So we need to expand our consciousness levels. We need to expand our awareness. When I keep doing all the righteous things in our life, all the beautiful things, all the loving things that uplift each and everyone, each and every being, then automatically we'll be able to evolve. We'll be able to raise our awareness and our consciousness levels. So slowly we'll be able to move towards that oneness, towards that beingness. So we'll become more and more conscious. So right now, if you see, we will not be able to conscious of all the things that we are doing actually. Sometimes we forget where we kept our keys, where we kept our pen, or where we kept our things that we are looking for. Or if somebody asks suddenly how you have done this thing, means we have to wait and recollect. So we need to practice this awareness and be conscious of each and every activity. While listening, while talking, while doing, while eating. So it is a continuous practice, friends. So through practice only, we can be conscious of things. When we raise our awareness, we will be conscious of consciousness as well. So at what level of consciousness we are vibrating, that we will be able to understand. Yeah. The consciousness field turns into awareness fields, and the awareness field melts away in the advancing human soul, who realizes that it was he who was conscious or aware. So in this physical world, we'll be able to experience the consciousness through awareness. But once we cross certain levels, certain stage, then we'll be able to experience it through oneness only. There is no awareness anymore. You become the beingness. You'll become the oneness being there. So you'll be able to see everything as is. Because everything is a reflection of us only here. Here only we'll be seeing the dual nature, duality. So everything we are experiencing through others, through everything that is there within us, surrounding us. So we all need to raise ourselves so that we'll be able to experience the oneness. So those who develop certain amount of awareness can remember their past lives. So as we already mentioned. And Master is telling, the law of karma plays a great role on the path of advancement. So no step forward can be taken without balancing the waves of karma. So on each step, we pay for the things we did wrong, and on each step, we are protected by the things we did right. Okay, so this law of karma plays an important role, Masters. So whatever we are doing the righteous things, those will help us to grow, to evolve, to raise our awareness and consciousness levels. And whatever we done wrong things, those will pull us down. Those are like strings attached. They weigh us down. So we need to cut them off. We need to clear them off. So we need to pay back them. So the more and more the good things, the righteous things, the services that we do, automatically will become more and more free, and we'll have more and more balances. So those will help us to evolve. Those will help us to raise our consciousness levels as well. So sometimes, as we already discussed in our previous sessions, I was going through certain phase, right, because of my downfall. So during that period, if you see, I couldn't do any kind of spiritual activity at all. Though I was aware during that time, but during that particular critical phase, whenever you are going through that karmic things, you will not be able to think about it. You will not be able to recollect. Like in Mahabharata, Karna will not be able to recollect during the last phase the mantras that he needs to release for the arrows, right? So when we have done something very wrong, something that is disturbing the whole existence, that will be having a very uh, limitation upon us. That will be applied upon us, so that we will not be able to recollect, we will not be able to remember things, we will not be able to progress in our lives. So those are the challenging times. We need to stick to our spiritual practices. But those are the times we skip that path completely. We will not be able to stick to our progress at all, practice at all. But those are the times if we are able to stick to our practices, then we'll be able to come out of those critical conditions, challenging situations slowly. So right things are those electrical waves of karma which will pave the way for our spiritual unfoldment. Wrong things are those electrical waves which slow our evolution and waste our time and energy. So this is very, very important, masters. So whatever we have done something wrong, those will limit our progress. So we don't know when they will come and hit us. So we will not be able to realize also. So that is the reason why we need to be aware all the time. Only through awareness we can understand, okay, I am going through some karmic phase or something limiting me, and it is the time I need to keep myself low and do more and more inner practices. And that is the time we need to cleanse ourselves. So paying back is nothing but cleansing ourselves, purifying ourselves. So we have to become more and more purer. So this is one of the beautiful quote. To expand your mind is to go inward to your soul center, connect with your higher consciousness of self, where you are limitless. So the karmic force waves expand in space. So whatever the wrong things, right things we have done, right, they keep traveling in the space. And whenever the right time comes, they come and hit us. So Master is telling there are two waves, white waves and black waves. So what is this white wave and black wave? So white waves are nothing but the righteous things that we have done, the great, great services that we have done, the love, the joy, the kindness, the compassion. So whenever we involve ourselves in those kind of activities, we are releasing white waves into universe. Whereas when we are exhibiting our ego, our sadness, or our madness, or any evil thoughts, or ill-treating others, scolding others, and mistreating others, insulting others. So all these kind of things will produce dark waves. So these are the dark waves that will limit our progress. These are the dark waves that will be hitting us back, so that we stuck at particular places, at particular situations. They cover us like a dark cloud. It will become very difficult for us to come out of them if we are not in the spiritual path, and if you are not doing the spiritual practices. So man advances by producing less black waves and more white waves. So we need to strive for this always, each and every day, each and every moment. We should be moving towards generating all the right things, doing the right things, thinking righteous thoughts, and feeling and emoting righteous feelings, righteous emotions. So it is our own responsibility. So one can increase in wisdom by living more in light, love, and service. Such a life radiates a great amount of white waves and balances or even destroys many dark waves. So white waves comes to our rescue in our darkest hours and protects us. So they will be able to protect us only when we have much more balance, when we emit more and more white waves. If you don't have a white waves, if you don't have generated a great love, great light, or great service to others, great compassion, or if you haven't shown any kindness to others, then there is nothing to protect us. So in Mahabharata also, if you see, during that phase where the Draupadi goes through that difficult situation, Krishna is able to give all the saris continuously. He was able to do that because before that, Draupadi has done something to Krishna. So in one of the situations, Krishna cuts his finger intentionally. He knows things, so he wants Draupadi to create some balance for herself. So without telling anything, he just cuts his finger and tests the situation, and Draupadi immediately tears her sari and ties it to stop the blood. So that one small act helped Krishna to help her. When we don't have a balance within us, when we have not created the balance for ourselves, nobody will be able to help us actually. Because if they are doing that help, they are actually overcoming the law, overriding the law. So nobody can do that actually, even the Lord himself. So it is our own responsibility to create such balances. Only then they can help us at the rightest times. So you don't need to do something very great to get some help actually. One small thing can help you in a greater way. If you do it in a one-fold way, it may come back and protect you, save you in a thousand-fold way. That's why there is a saying, right? You take one step, so masters will come and be with you to go through 100 steps. So it is our responsibility to take that initial one step. So we always should strive and indulge ourselves to do always the righteous things, to increase love, to increase light, to increase kindness, to do peaceful things, to do great service to others. So Master is telling dark waves function as hindrances. They delay our progress and cause great expenditures of our energy. So the more dark waves we are creating means we are delaying our own progress. So we advance through the white waves, and sometimes they surround us like a shield to protect us from incoming hostile rays. So friends, it is our responsibility to create more and more love, more and more joy, more and more light, more kindness, more compassion. So we should always keep engaging ourselves to do these things in all aspects, through our thoughts, words, feelings, doing, in every way. Yeah, and as the human soul progresses, he passes through waves of dark and white karma because we have created so much karma in the past. Some might be good, some might be wrong things. So we go through all this, both dark and white waves. And there will be some testing times. Suppose there is some lesson you have to learn and you have learned it. Then there will be a testing time comes that you have to prove yourself that you learned that lesson and you overcome that limitation within yourself. So whenever the testing time comes, if you overcome that, if you prove yourself, then you'll be given a greater progress. Your consciousness expands and your awareness also increases. Yeah. And Master is telling this is why we are told that we must not increase our burdens as we try to climb the mountain of our beingness. So when we wanted to grow towards the light, towards the beauty, towards love, towards joy, so we should not put any effort to create any wrong things, to do any wrong things, physically, mentally, emotionally. And Master is telling it is possible to fight and destroy the dark waves of karma through the lightening of our thoughts to avoid being handicapped by wrongs we did in the past. So when we create a great balance for ourselves, and when we raise our awareness and consciousness levels, then with our thoughts, powerful thoughts, again, powerful thoughts means not for your selfish interests. You can overcome karma, you can destroy your dark karma when you intend to do something great for the well-being of the whole. When you want to do something very powerful, very great service, sacrificial services to the world, when you determine for it and you intend for it, then your darkest karma can be avoided. And again, Master is telling, so when you have this kind of intention and when you do certain great things in your life, that will clear off your dark karma. But when you do anything again in your life, any such kind of negative karma for yourself, that will be very, very destructing thing for yourself because it will not create karma now. It also invokes the karma that was already cleared off. So that's what Master is telling. Such a purification process by the energy of thought paves the way toward greater expansion of consciousness and awareness. But when the dark waves are destroyed, one must be extremely careful not to produce dark waves again. Because any new dark wave revives the elements of the dead waves and creates a chaotic state on the path of the man. So that's why once we are into the path of light, once we are into the path of love, once we are into the path of this soul path, spiritual path, and through your great services, through your great determination, through your great striving, through your hard work, you attain so much of goodwill or great balance, which has actually wiped out some of your wrong karma, which you have done some time back. But after that, if you have done anything wrong again with with your consciousness, okay, consciously, if you are committing anything wrongly, knowingly it will create something bad, then you are not just creating karma for that particular act. Whatever was wiped out before will be revived. So that will create much more greater impact, much more greater damage to ourselves, masters. So we have to be very, very careful in this aspect. So once we are in the path of this spiritual path, should always think about something good, something better, something loving, something that is uplifting each and every soul. So we have to be very, very careful. Purification is very important. Being in the pure state, keeping yourself in that purified state is very, very important. Mentally, physically, emotionally, in all aspects. So purity on the path of the ascent is the shield of the traveler. Because of our purification process only, we'll be able to achieve to the next levels. We'll be able to raise our awareness, consciousness towards light. We'll be able to move. But if you are again doing anything that is making yourself impure, then you are making bigger karma. So we have to be very careful in this aspect, masters. So with the purity of thought, one must strive to build a sensitive antenna. Yeah, this is one more beautiful aspect master is telling. We all know about antennas, right? So antenna which will be getting some signals. So there might be large telescopes. We all know that telescopes are there, or some dishes will be there through which we get signals and we see something on the television, everything, right? So we all also have antennas. So the more and more purify ourselves, the more and more we become aware and conscious. The antenna, we all having antenna, which will be receiving thoughts, which will be receiving greater intuitions. So that's what Master is telling. With the purity of thought, one must strive to build a sensitive antenna. Antennas of the mind are not a figment of imagination. Every true thinker has an antenna which penetrates into different levels and transmits thoughts of different magnitudes. So when we become more purer, when we become more aware, more conscious, and when we raise our energy and vibrations, our antenna also, it will be reaching to the next levels. We'll be able to reach different worlds, different planes, different dimensions, like how antennas will be receiving signals, right? The same way we'll be able to touch uh, intuitions, greater wisdom from different worlds, and get that into this world, current world. So Master is telling we all have to strive towards developing such kind of antennas. So the teaching says that great ones have sevenfold antennas which draw ideas and thoughts from many dimensions. So we all should be striving for it, masters. And master is telling it is very beneficial to spread your antenna before you engage in any creative work. Suppose something you are getting involved yourself in a creative work, then you should make yourself ready, make yourself aware, more conscious, more aware, so that you'll be connecting to the next higher level dimensions to get more and more ideas, creative ideas. So we already discussed, right? Whatever the great inventions we are having in this world are from different dimensions, from different great masters. So not only our consciousness, but also our thoughts change in different conditions. So we already learned this point, right? So when we raise our awareness, consciousness, automatically our thoughts changes, our emotions, feelings also changes. Because we raised everything, so we will not be able to entertain lower level thoughts, lower level feelings, lower level vibrations will not touch us anymore. We are out of reach for those lower level thoughts, everything. So as we keep progressing, automatically everything in our life changes. We vibrate higher. We will not attract anything lower actually. And Master is telling, we think differently in the mountains, near lakes, near rivers, because of the nature. That's why it is very, very important surrounding ourselves with in the nature, with different natures. When you are not feeling good in your home, in your office, just go and spend time in the nature. So you will be refreshed immediately. We think differently near mountains, lakes, and we think differently in cities, restaurants, and we think differently in parties. So depending upon different places, we will be thinking differently. So we need to understand ourselves where we are able to think higher level of thoughts, beautiful thoughts, positive thoughts. So we need to understand that. So whenever we are not feeling good, whenever we are not feeling very pleasant or very low or very depressed, you just have to change your place. Just go to the place where you feel good actually most of your time, so that you feel somewhat you feel refreshed. And once you get that refreshment, you should focus, you should work on changing your way of thinking, changing in your way of feeling, changing in your way of perceiving things. So we feel more depressed when we think about the same thing again and again and again, which is not beneficial to us. It's just the repetition that is making us low actually. It's not that the thing making us low. It happened once, but we repeat it thousands of times, lakhs of times, which is bringing us down because we are giving so much importance, unnecessary focus to something which we don't want. So when we don't want something, why we are giving so much importance to it? That's where we struggle in this world actually. Most of us. What we don't want, we give more focus to it, more attention to it. Yeah. Now, of course, one cannot stay long in such a condition, but with willpower, one can occasionally create such conditions and touch lofty thoughts. So, as Master himself is telling, it is not possible every time to be in those great places. But occasionally, you can go there and have some refreshing and have some great thoughts, loving thoughts that can help you. So, and Master is telling, it is very interesting to note that karma often interferes. On certain occasions, it blocks our consciousness, and on certain occasions, it enlightens our consciousness. So, when it blocks and when it enlightens depends upon, again, the kind of actions we have taken. But if we are in the path of light, if we are in the path of that striving, in the path of purification, in the path of cleansing, in the path of doing beautiful things, great things, and in the path of servicing others, then every time, even though you go through your karmic phases, those will not be there with you for a long time. Because as long as you are in that process, as long as you are continuing your service, your practices, spiritual practices, you will not be affected much. Though you have the intensity, you might be feeling the intensity of those karmic effects, but that will not hinder your progress. You just keep witnessing and you keep moving towards your practices. So the limit, the effect of those karmic situations or things, whatever are there, will be reduced. The intensity will be reduced, definitely. But important thing is we keep practicing our spiritual practices. So it's not that during the normal times doing the spiritual practice. Whenever you are going through challenges, whenever you are having tough time, that is the time demands more from you. That is when you definitely have to put more effort. Okay, Master. So it is possible to expand our consciousness in such a degree that we become aware of our karma and cooperate with it in full measure. So Master is telling, we can be aware of karma. So when we can do that, when we are raised our awareness to certain level and expanded our consciousness to certain level, then we'll be automatically able to understand, okay, this is something my karma, to do with my karma. And instead of fighting with it, we cooperate with it. And we'll be able to understand which is karma and which is testing also. We already discussed it, right? There will be testing time, something we learned in our life. Now there will be testing time comes as well. So those who are aware, who are conscious, they'll be able to understand which is karma, which is testing also. So they'll be going through both of them very smoothly, very easily. And Master is telling there is one more thing. We can change our karma through our fiery thoughts. Again, this is not that everyone will be able to do. Only those who raise their vibe, energy expansion and consciousness, awareness to certain level, to certain degree. And again, not everyone can do this. Only they have a greater purpose and they have a greatest intention so that they can do great service. Only when one is ready to do a sacrificial service, only then they can change their karma through their strong intentions. And again, it's not that everybody will be able to do that. Certain levels like yogis maybe. Okay, so one should be attaining such a level. Only those can do those things. And Master is telling, we might be hearing about these great calamities, right? Like tsunami, earthquake, and great storms, all these things, right? So some greatest people who are on the highest level, like already awakened, those will be knowing at what time, at what place, what is going to happen. So karma will bring all the respective people to that particular place, to that particular, in that particular time, so that they pay off their karma. Like bringing everyone together so that they all together karma will be paid off. So certain masters, they will be knowing these things are going to happen, and but they are not entitled to utter those things to anyone. They know this is going to happen, and how many people roughly they are going to perish, but they are not entitled to open it because they know it is a law of karma. So they cannot interfere in that law. So only through expansion of consciousness, only through expansion of our awareness, we'll be able to understand the law of karma, masters. So we'll be going with the flow rather than fighting with it. Okay, masters. So let us pause the discussion here. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you all, masters. Hope all are able to understand whatever I was telling. Yeah, if anyone have anything to ask or anything to share, you can ask masters. Thank you all. Thank you, masters, for your messages.
Thank you so much, Master. It was really wonderful. I'm going through testing time now, and I'm not able to do the meditation every single day. But
Madam,
I
sorry, is it
can you
possible
hear
to
me?
open the camera?
Oh yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I think today was really really hard at work.
Okay,
Um, and there came a situation saying, no, your performance is no good. You have to get into it. And if we don't see any performance improvement, then you might lose that is the warning which I've got today. And
okay,
then I came into meditation and I listened to all the presentation which you gave. I think it was so, so, so relevant to what I'm going through. I really understand that universe wants me to learn things. This is the testing time. And you gave the examples of Draupadi. It was all so touching. All
yeah,
small things which we are doing, it will come back thousand times.
yes,
And these are the kind of warnings, I think. Yesterday as well, I did get a message, when speaking to somebody or things like that. And I heard your presentation yesterday as well saying you will go through pain. And when you're going through pain, that is come there to teach you some lesson. So
yes,
I really understand. So this is my testing time. And now I need to raise my consciousness to understand how I can come out of this. So it was beautiful, Master. Thank you so much. Learning a lot.
much. Yeah, yeah. Oh, everything comes to us for our own good, for our own learnings.
Mm,
We learn more from the pain, from the suffering, from the things that make us discomfort, actually speaking,
yeah,
more than that we learn from happiness, joy, or some entertainment, whatever we think that those are the happiest moments, and actually the learning from the happiest moments might be very less. I'm
yeah,
not saying there won't be anything, but there will be there some learnings, but those are the some kind of relaxation for our soul and body, all those things. But the real learnings will be from all the negative things that are going to happen in our lives. Only that the way we perceive things, the way we look at them has to change. Once we change that, automatically we will understand what that particular situation is actually trying to tell us. What is something that I have to work upon myself. So
yes,
it's all about changing ourselves, not about thinking what they are telling actually. We need to
mm,
just look into ourselves and understand, is there anything really I have to change? If there is, yes, we have to work on it. If there is nothing to change, it is just others' perception, you think, then okay, fine. You don't need to take it to heart.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
I think
everything is a learning only. But thank you very much for sharing your experiences. Thank you.
thank you so much. And also another thing is you said about going to nature, the mountain has different vibration and things. I think it's so true, so true. So connecting with the nature is like that's the most powerful things. I think the nature has a lot of energy that we can take in and stabilize ourselves.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. These are not things that we don't know actually. We know them, but we are not aware of things actually. That's the
Yeah,
only difference.
yeah,
And the master is telling all these things so beautifully. And it's just that we need to connect with ourselves, to be aware each and every moment, to be conscious what we are thinking, what we are doing, what we are speaking, so that we can understand what actually we are taking in and what we are putting out actually.
yeah, yeah. A lot of our own awareness of our thoughts, words, actions, intentions.
Exactly.
That's there. That's the basic foundation of all this. Beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, Master. Thank you very much for your message. Redmi Note 14. Thank you. Okay, Masters. If nothing else, yeah. I think we are good to close the session. Thank you all, Masters, once again. Happy night, all of you. We'll connect tomorrow again.
Thank you and good night.
Dhanyavad. Shubhratri.
Shubhratri. I think she's gone somewhere in Dubai, so she's missing it at Patana. Yeah.
Shubhratri.
Shubhratri.
Shubhratri,
See you
madam.
tomorrow. It was lovely.
Thank you.
It's talk and all. It's lovely. I see it tomorrow.
Sure,
I
sure.
have something to talk about, but I will take some other time because it's already half past. And
No
so,
problem. You can speak. No problem, madam.
no, what I'm saying that I have the same sort of experience just now. The Gita, she said, that I had same kind of, problem long time ago, but I worked on it. The more I got possessive of thinking of my house, my money, my this and that, I was worked to because other people were saying you have to, people will tell me that everyone is a thief or a crook or even my son or my family. So people have different kind of things telling me and I was working and then after that, about 13, 14 years ago, I came into the spiritual guru and from Gujarat and all these, and I am from North India. So, and then I learned to give up things. Don't attach myself to the money or the clothes or house. Even my Scottish friend will say, your house is today it's yours, tomorrow it will belong to someone else. Why you think about my house? And I said, it's not my house. It's not me. My body is not mine. And the more I give up, and now I'm the happier. So what I made it, give one thing in 1 year or a 6 month. I worked in one thing, like attachment to my family, my sons and the family, everyone. So I used to cry, but now I got stronger and I don't, and I will tell my son, don't cry or anything. I'm fine. I'm okay. I always say I'm fine. I'm okay. Like that to my father-in-law, my family and everyone. And that I worked for 1 year. Then I worked on one thing like a money, attachment to money that, I don't need any money. I started giving, whatever the house or property, I will sign them. Just take it away. Without asking, I will go and to the lawyer and sign them. So the more I got rid of that, and now I tell you, I'm so happy and I've never shortage of money. Everyone from the family, my friend, my godchildren, they all are there for me. Everywhere I find love from everyone.
Yeah.
So true.
So I worked on one thing and it changed my life and I'm relating to everything in here. To attaching to my clothes, I have to wear, have to do this. Now I have left my body's attachment as well.
Yeah.
No one is there, like in the house. No one is coming to see my house. They are coming to see me. These kind of things. I have to work. No one is there to look at my cloth, my hair, my face. They are my friend. They are my family. Everyone is my family. So that way I worked, and I'm the happiest person.
Wonderful, man. Thank you very much for sharing your such a profound experience.
Because working on one thing, that's I found that, I was working on many things and I couldn't getting success. But I worked on one thing for 6 months, for a year or so, and that's how I achieved.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing your profound experience.
No, it is, I thought I share my experience too.
Yeah. It's really lovely. It's so lovely to hear, and I'm feeling that the joy, happiness.
Yeah, because
Thank you very much. You are really radiating that love and energy. I can see that. I can sense it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And good night to everyone and Subratri.
Good night, Subratri.
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 Thank you, masters.
See you tomorrow.
Right? Subharatri all of you.